In the longs here, SMT inverse 5-minute setup here, inverse 1 minute. Looking for 579, 601. Plenty targets higher as well. Stop loss price at 505 here. This will be my first scale point. Would be 65-point gain to full TP. Once we close this fair value gap, didn't get the best entry here. I got another close, 35. So once we get this closure on this fair value gap, if we do, I'm going to move my stop up, anticipating that we likely take out my target here. Move it to a 15-point risk. Would like to see this get respected. Also watching ES as well, making sure ES takes out the high before. Approaching my first TP here. Come on. But at this point, since we are so close to that target, I will go break even. There's no need. It's either going to deliver and hit this TP, or it's going to break even me. But we are so close to the target that I'm confident to go break even here. Do not want to see this reprice back down. If it does, my entry's at the bottom of this gap, so it's fine for me if it break evens me. ES ends up looking like it's going to equal that high too. Still looking for the last push here to 79s. Set my limit there. Could come back down and tap this imbalance. Hoping she doesn't. This would be a 44-point gain here. Come on. She's messing around with me. Come on. Just pump it. ES ends up taking that high. Come on. I'm just going to let it go.
Order filled.
There's our scale break even. 40-something points. Going to leave the break even. Going to leave my break even here. Now I'm looking for 601. Stop loss is break even now. Just got my first scale there, 35 to 79, which is about a 44-point gain. Now my stop loss rests at break even with 2 contracts left. See if it fully delivers to the high. But just secured out there $264 profit. See if we respect one of these imbalances, but yeah, I'm fine with leaving stop loss break even here. Think in my opinion it's worth it to hold, but like to see us break 79. I barely got my scale there when we hit 79. I'd like to see us break this level. Then I would look to scale one more contract, and I want to leave one more potentially for this 631, but I will aggressive trail. And also depending on how we break. If we barely break and then flip, I'd likely cut the last runner. Right now I'm hoping we leave this gap open. Looking to see us break and just continue. Yeah, this thing will be about a 65-point gain if we get the TP here. SMT, inverse the 5 minute, inverse the 1 minute, grab my long. Just broke 69, not finding a lot of buying from here. Would like to see us push. Hoping we respect this gap here. But I'm fine if I get, $260 profit on, not the best price action today in a pretty clean setup. So I'm fine with whatever plays out now. We've already scaled. We're already break even. We're just going to let this thing play out. Could potentially see the market come back, have a 5 minute fair value gap below. Right, 5 minute fair value gap there. Could see it come back down before making this full move, hoping it doesn't, but you never know. So we're just going to let it play out. Yeah, we have a 5 minute fair value gap that is at 528, which is below my entry. So if it were prices down to the 5 minute first, I will get break even. Totally fine with me. Looks like she's headed for a break even. Would have wanted to see that 79 get broken, but more aggressively. Yeah, it looks like it likely wants to trail back down to the 5 minute before making the move if it is truly bullish. But just sticking to my plan. Again, I'm looking for a pretty ambitious move to overnight highs, right? That's why we're playing scale break even here. It's a pretty ambitious move for the market, and the market hasn't been the cleanest today. We've had clean moves, but overall, setup wise, this is my first setup on the day. If we end up somehow, I could see it. If it gets above, if it gets above this bearish, if we end up seeing us break out this high, then I could see it likely giving me my full TP. But until we get above this bearish gap, it's going to be rough. Pretty good rejection here off this inverse. We would have wanted to see efficient delivery here respecting this fair value gap. But again, scale break even already, so this is a winning trade regardless of what happens. But it looks like it's likely headed for break even, which is okay. There's a fair value gap at 39. 5 minute I just closed, very small one, but if it taps it, it's pretty much gonna break even me. So yeah, we just closed another 5 minute here, very small. Looks like it comes to test it right here. And then my entry is right here. So it's likely, unless it just respects it on the dot like this, it's likely to come break even me. But who knows? Let's see. Testing this 1 minute. Forget the inverse. I like it. At this point, I like my stop loss in profit here at 39. If we come down to sweep this low, it's pretty much going to break even me, so might as well cover the commission here. I'll put it at 38.50. But I'm looking for this to just be the move. If we come back down and sweep this one more time, I will get stopped in profit there. Just a few points. Right? Guaranteed like, what? $12. So it'll cover the commission of the trade. But, yeah. Do not want to see this get breached here. I want to see delivery, break of this high, and continuation. This looks nice. But again, it could just, come back one more time and then break even me, right? We don't know what's going to happen, but we set our plan and we're going to stick to it. We see ES has broken out this high before NQ, so now we have a bearish SMT here. So, kind of creating some red flags for me, but now we're stopping profit, which is okay for me. But we want to see this get fixed fast. If this holds and we reject, doesn't look good. This small 1 minute gap needs to hold. If it inverses it, it's likely to probably just want to run down. But this market's not efficient, not clean, but the cleanest delivery, so could see a multitude of things. But we are just playing and trading based off what we want to see and what our concepts that we trade. Looks like she inversed it, so SMT inverse could hold here. We could minimum see her price down to these 5 minutes, which would end up break even me, but I'm okay with that. But yeah, minimum, if it sells off, it could just be inefficient and choppy, but I likely think that the fact that we didn't breach this high aggressively, we left the SMT here, we've inversed, this is a short probably down to these 5 minutes. It'll likely want to fill these imbalances before making a move if it is truly bullish to these highs. So it looks like she comes down to break even or stop in profit. But what's important is that we stick to our plan fully. It's exactly what I had planned. I'm in profit, 1.8K this week. So just taking a small trade here on this price action is not the best. And I'm happy to catch an extra $200 today. It was supposed to be, a $400, $500 winner, but that's if it fully hits. Scale break even for this market, totally fine for me. Didn't really have much stress on the trade. Right, entered, nice pops, hit my target. Only thing that stressed me out was we were just, ES took the high, we're kind of messing around. I almost wanted to scale a little bit early because of the SMT, but it was right there. So just let it break even, stuck to it. And now we're just in our runners here. Still somehow we're holding on. But again, it doesn't look too hot, but we're just going to let it play out. This point, just waiting for it to break, waiting for it to stop and profit me at this point. My opinion should have already seen the delivery, so just waiting for this to take me out. But my psychology, I want to hold till the end. I could probably scale here, get 15 points, and it's probably gonna break even me. And instead of I get 15 points instead of getting a few extra bucks. But we just want to stick to our plan properly. Because I've had trades that have been so close to break even me, and I scale early and it somehow delivers. In this case, likely not. There's a lot of red flags against it delivering higher first. Likely think it comes lower before it wants to run higher, but yep. Just waiting for it to break even me at this point. Guaranteed about 14 bucks for the remainder of this position if it does want to stop and profit. Could have probably scaled one right here and then left one for break even or full TP because of the SMT, but I'm fine with the way I played it. Maybe there is some hope. Maybe there is hope. Maybe there's hope, guys. Oh yeah, she's looking nice. Alright, ES is about to attack this high first. Gonna grab my scale just a few points before
Order
my
filled.
TP. About 5 points before my TP as ES takes out that high before NQ does. Just wanting to play smart here. So, secured 60 points there. I will remove that. And now I want to see, with one contract left here, I'm wanting to see if we get 21 or 31. I'm going to move my stop and profit at 61, just below that gap at the low of it. But there is a 60 point secured. And that is a great trust in your plan here. But now we're looking to see can buyer step up and give us the full. It would be, if we get the full thing here, I'd probably scale out 21. But if we get the full thing, it'd be a 90 pointer, which is nice. I'm going to go ahead and update our P&L sheet. Still waiting to see if we can get the break of this high. But yeah, I grabbed an early scale there. ES takes out the high before NQ does. So I ended up grabbing a scale about 5 points before the TP. But there it goes. Now we're looking for 31 here. Now I want to trail my stop even more. Right, leaving this gap open, we want to see respect of this gap. We want to see this respect cleanly. If it inverses this, it's not very high probability that we want to run higher. I like resting my stop at midpoint below this, so we're looking to move it up to 67s now. Cancel that, pop her up to 67. So now we're guaranteed almost 30 points in profit, which is nice. Want to see a fish delete from here, but yeah, great trade overall. Can't complain too much about the setup. And beautiful sticking to our plan, right? It's a slow trade, but we're sticking to our plan and we're getting paid for it. Almost got break even. Didn't touch it. Didn't just get out for a little extra profit. We stuck to it and look where we're at now. Like I said, I literally said that in this video. There's been times where I've scaled like, oh, it's gonna break even me. Let me get 10 points instead of no points. And I did that. And it barely misses my break even and fucking runs the high. That's why I've seen it so many times. I've been in this business long enough to know that. It's always best to stick to the plan. So now if it break even is my last contract, I'm secured 28 points in profit. No, not even. My entry is 35. So I'm secured 32 points in profit. Secured $64. Yeah, entry's 35. So we're looking at a 32 point gain secured regardless. This video's been going on too long, man. 23-minute video. But it's the full live trade. Letting you show the whole thing. Guided every bit. This is a great video. Guided every bit of thought process on the way I trade. Some people enter right here and they hold it to the full thing, which is great. Me, I play a little bit more conservative. I like to play scalp. I like to play a little bit faster, so I trade like this, and it works very well for me. And this will be up almost, so it'll be up pretty fat on the week. ES is about to take out the 21 high. So ES is about to take this high out already. From this point, there's no reason for me to early scale. There's no reason for me to early scale and get out. In my opinion, it is worth it for the win rate, and it's worth it for my head to say, you know what? Let's get up to here. Maybe if we break aggressively, we get here in the same candle. But for me, right, ES is about to take out that high right here. We're not close on NQ. I think it's worth it. It could follow. It could deliver. It's worth it for me now. Right, I'm guaranteed 32 points. But if we fully hit, it looks a lot better to say, you know what? I didn't scale early for 70. I stuck to my plan and got a lot more. And I hope the buyers can step up here. All right, we're going to see an 86 point gain up to 96, almost 100 points. So let's let her fly. Let's let her fly. I'm going to play the break of this level. If we get a nice pop through, I'll get out. If it just wicks me, we'll just take it. You know, it's about a $20 difference from here. Yeah, exactly, $20. So it's not nothing too crazy. But yeah, ES takes out that high. 5,573. So it's either it's going to follow it and smash me, or it's going to break even me. At this point, I want to move my stop loss at 76, guaranteeing me guaranteeing me 41 points. So regardless of whatever happens this trade, I don't care. I'm guaranteed 40 something points on the last contract here. So moving stops to 76 now. Just at the bottom of this gap. Hoping we play to 21. Yeah, it could be the SMT here on the 1 hour, or or potentially CNQ with price to a 5-minute low first. But at this point, who cares? It's a banger trade. It's smashed. And right now we should be at almost $400 profit. Looks like she's coming back down. But again, we're guaranteed 40 points here. That's totally fine with me if we get break even. Right, not worth the early scale for me. I'd rather hit the full TP, hit the TPs properly than just early scale because SMT already did it here. And now that we're risk free, doesn't matter. But yeah,
Stop field.
Rest out there and profit, guys. A great trade overall. Secured about 60 points. And that is going to be a $468 winner. We'll go ahead and send this with the live account numbers in the chat just to show it. Just so we know we are legit here. Send that in the chat. And then here we go, guys. Live account numbers, 468, 8:04 a.m. Matches the same time. We're not on replay. And that's going to be it for this video. Full trade guide through. Peace out, guys.